Nope. Nope. Didn't quite cute. Play music. There we go. Oh, okay. Bashing things. That's mine. Oh, headphones. Hello. Hello. All right. Oh my gosh, a busy week. Ooh, boy. Especially when you're getting so far along. So many projects and feeling great about them. And then realizing that you're collapsing in your chair every night. Which I find is a good thing. I'm like up late, working at my desk. Taking cat naps while trying not to freeze in the basement.
Yes, I'm a basement dweller.
Well, it's the best place to put a studio. That's safer. Let's get tossed. I'm gonna pop top. I'm gonna drink it right now. Well, I'm gonna take a sip. Hi! Morning, Lizzie. Wow, dang. Right off the bat. Come on, multitask. But yeah, hi, welcome. I'm finally awake and alive. I haven't streamed all week long because I've been sleeping. Long days of work and sleeping. I don't think I've ever been this busy, so busy, but yet feel like you almost don't get anything done. It's a terrible feeling. But yeah, I have several things I want to work on. Pokemon is the big thing. Yes. And like the worst thing is I have a heating pad for my feet and intro. Hi, good morning. But yeah, I have a heating pad for my feet. And every so often, if you see me doing this, it's because my fingers are freaking cold. Welcome to Michigan. It's amazing in the summer. I can't complain at all. In the summer, it's like, oh my gosh, I could just work all day. In the cold here, it's like a box fridge. And then I end up like going, the worst thing is like doing this. I have my seat locked up right now because I just keep falling backwards. Thank you for the like, Jamie. So I just know I was like, I stuff my hands in, I lean back, and if I lean back too far and don't count to 5 and then immediately lean back up, I'm gonna take a small nap. And then one of these times I'm gonna be so frozen, I'm just gonna hibernate. Won't wake up. And that's how it'll be. Like I said, this is perfect during the summer. Not so much the winter. I forgot to take this down. There's a little pins up on the wall back there. I do, but I don't like wearing them. They're itchy. I like my t-shirts. I like t-shirts a lot. Matter of fact, I spent a lot of time designing some shirts this week that I've been sitting on. Good morning, Phoenix. Well, there is one sweater I do like, and it's an Irish sweater because it doesn't itch. First off, so it's already, and it's very soft, and it's very good. Yeah, exactly. Like I went out the other day in shorts and a t-shirt, and it was sunny out, but it was freezing. I didn't care. I was perfectly fine. But then I get into this basement, and it's a whole different experience. I'm not moving around as much. Oh. My goodness. But yeah, busy week. And here I am. I'm finally like I'm looking forward, like I'm actually like I'm debating on whether or not to even draw today and just say screw it. Go into playing a game, because I think I played like New World for maybe an hour or two during the week, and that was just because like I need to get away from the artwork for a moment. And hoodies. You know, I do have a few hoodies. Oh, I do have one off to the side there. If I get too cold, I could always put it on. So there we go. I do have something close by. Yeah, I noticed you had an art stream. Of course, I was a bum and didn't join you. So everything went pretty well with that with your art stream there. Well, that's the great thing. Having too many emotes, it works out perfectly. Somebody else, you put them out there, somebody else will find a great use for them. They just need to find them. Everyone's creative in their own degree. Oh, 4 new slots, but no emotes for the... Oh. That's perfect. Everyone needs that questioning look. Which reminds me, I never made that for my BoogieMan faces. Good to hear, Lizzie. I'm glad. I'm glad it went well. I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll do a 24-hour drawing marathon where I just take requests and keep drawing. I'm insane? I am a ginger, so... There, now everything will start appearing. Unless I broke it. There we go. Totally hand-drawn? I totally believe you. Totally believe you. You know, and it's amazing, like when you shrink it down, it looks so perfect. Some of my drawings, I prefer to zoom out and go, it looks perfect there. I don't like when I zoom in. Take the background off. So realize too, game capture. And yet I have nothing on that screen. There we go. For the time being. You know, Phoenix, I have those 2 games that I got from your stream. I'm wondering if I should just go play those. I've yet to touch them, and I've been purposely going like, I want to save it for a good moment. So I don't even know what I'm getting into. Well, yeah, of course. And you know, that's a tough thing, taking the background out and making it translucent. Or transparent. I don't know what game. What are the Fort Triumph and Swag and Sorcery. Maybe I should play one of those. I know I want to draw the Pokemon thing and just kind of generate some ideas, because there still is that was it, you can turn in 3 entries before December something? December 16th? For the Pokemon trading card game, and I have yet to sit down and actually finalize one and do it. Of course, I can't. The only thing I can stream is the ideas and generating things. I can't stream the actual piece until after they've announced saying, yeah, this is not a winner, this is a loser, this is, you know. all the win and loss part. And of course, that takes forever. That'll take 6 months before they deliberate, get back to you with it. I don't know. I think I'm leaning more towards a game right now instead of drawing because I've been drawing all week long. Yeah. I have a decent amount of games every week one I play. Of course, it also reminds me I need to get on Discord, and since I pay for Nitro, I have free 2 months to Xbox XX or Windows Premium, so I could get, oh my gosh, Back for Blood there. So I have to remember to do that. Too bad I didn't do that before today. Dang. Had all those opportunities to say, just download. Well, of course I have to activate it too. We'll get there. I'm mostly slow. Mostly. But yeah, it's 2 free months for me, so it's like so I paid for a different subscription, which then gets me 2 free months. It's something else, which is great. Okay, so my decision is I still find it funny. I played Outlast for 96 minutes, and I feel like I only got through 10 minutes of the game. I'm looking at that now. Just for sheer reminder of how much scare games really mess with me. Oh my gosh, that playing Snake, that sounds like a lot of fun. I could lose a lot of time in it like I did as a kid. Simple gameplay, but just perfect. It's like, no, I can get more apples next time. I can get past this level. I can make it past level 32 this time. Yeah. That's why I'm the screen I upgraded to. This pen doesn't need to be charged anymore. Such a great thing. Even though they still gave me 2 in the package. Found that to be a little bit odd. I was like, I understood the other one giving me 2 because as one's charging, the other one I can use right away. So yeah, this is one thing. I should keep talking to XP Pen and saying, hey, sponsor me. Of course, I should get a few more followers before they go, yeah, maybe that's something we can do. It's like, yeah. I love XP Pen stuff. This is my second one over the last like 6 years, and the other one lasted me so long. It's still sitting. It's now in a box off to the side as my backup in case this one does fail on me. But, but yes, I love these. And like I know Huon appears on my Facebook feed all the time, but I don't. Their prices weren't right. I didn't like some of the features they were offering, and that's why like XP Pen looks like the one I want. It looks legit, and it is. It is so great. And then upgrading to this one in particular, I have the little scroll wheels. So cool. Well, and that's another thing. Is like I've personally waited. I sat on the side and said, "No, I don't need the drawing pad. I can do other things." But no, I needed. Yeah, it's one of my best investments when it came to continuing on with art, because it's so much easier to draw by hand, scan it in, and then finalize what you want in the screen. But the one thing I have to get back to doing is sculpting in Blender. Haven't done that for years. And of course, they changed everything with a big update, and now it feels like it's a whole new other program. I have to find where all the tools are again. Always the way of things. Brand new stuff, and you go, just when you think you know it. Yeah. And, give me a moment. And yeah, and I can understand that. Because this screen, first off, I probably would have never bought it if I didn't see the tag of... Actually, I think I've almost had this for a year, because I think I bought it right around this time. Yeah. Happy anniversary screen. You've been with me for 1 whole year. And then, because I bought it around this time, and they were taking almost 50% off. I think it was at least 40% off of the cost of it. And I was like, I have the money. The other ones worked out so well for me, and it'd be nice to just upgrade now before this one fails. And if it doesn't fail, well then I always have a second backup screen if anything happens. Yeah. Well, and it's also one of those, if you want to take your art level to another stage, then yeah, it's a huge game changer for you when it comes to drawing on a screen. Because I feel like I probably could not go back to what I was doing before now. So, and what I was doing before was hand drawing everything, and mostly like, you know, doing vector in such a way that was like, yeah, that was the best way for me to do point and just calculate curves, instead of actually doing anything hand drawn and getting down ideas. So that's probably been one of my biggest hurdles like the last several years, is just going from never drawing on a screen to then drawing on a screen and seeing how far I went backwards in my drawing style. Because it's so different when you're drawing with it. And then seeing it progress back to where I feel it's, you know, appropriate where I was. Yeah. Well, and I'd have to say, like, back in when I was at like community college, I had this 6-inch by 8-inch little Wacom tablet for doing some of my work, and those are really great. They're great. The little tablets, awesome. And because I stopped using that at some point because Wacom stopped giving it drivers. And it was it tells you how long ago I had that thing. I had that thing for like ages before it finally said, nah, we're cutting off use of that one. You can't. Like the sticker on the back of it was fading. I'd used that thing. And so there's a long period of time where I had nothing, but mostly what I did with that one was work in like, well, back when it was Alias Maya instead of Autodesk Maya. Well, if you haven't done vector, you don't need to get Illustrator. There's a awesome program called Inkscape. Use that. It's freeware. It works just as well as Illustrator. It just doesn't have some of the higher end features that Illustrator, of course, has. But it has all the functionality that you need of a vector program. And it's free. And I think it's also built off Python, which is another reason why I like it. So I like Python code. It's nice and clean. So yes, Inkscape, definitely I recommend it if you want to do any vector art, especially if you don't have a drawing tablet. Vector art is by far some of the easiest stuff you can do because you can make nice clean curves by having it calculate from point to point. So it makes a world of difference when you do certain things. And it's pretty easy to translate from 3D space into vector 2D. Because you still have that same sense of, I know I'm calculating a curve. You're just calculating a single surface compared to 3-dimensionally calculating every surface and getting it to shift. So again, strongly recommend Inkscape. They don't sponsor me. They don't do anything to have me say that. I just know I love it. I personally, I use Illustrator myself, but I would if I didn't need all the other programs Adobe did, then I'd like get their nice little suite. I'd probably use that more often. But I like Krita because it's simpler than Photoshop. So I can do a lot of my pre-work in this. And then when I'm ready to use the higher functionality, I pull it over there and into Illustrator and all the other programs. Because this is a very low processor intensive program. And that's one thing I love about it. Why I use Krita so often, because it's nice to get all ideas down and even you can still make quite really nice good art. So there I go. There's my little spiel. So yeah, Liz, have you ever heard of Inkscape before? Have you ever used it? Because I know you said you haven't done vector, but have you ever seen it before? I guess is probably what I should say. Because I don't know how good of a job they do with advertising themselves. They're not like Blender, which Blender is trying to become the anything and everything. Because I was actually drawing in that a few days ago. I think it was just a week ago. And I was really, really amazed at how well the setup is. It's not completely there because it's going from, we're making a 3D program and now we're giving you 2D, drawing tool. But it could be eventually the end-all be-all, because as soon as I figure out how to edit video in it, I'm pretty much going like Adobe Suite is done. The only thing they would really have to put into it is a vector-based system, but they have that built in technically with the 3D modeling part. Because you can make 2D. I could probably get away with just using Blender. Now that I'm sitting here taking a serious moment to think about it, everything that Blender has been developing over the years, like ever since I was at Eastern, I've been using Blender alongside with 3ds Max, because that's what they used in Eastern is 3ds Max, whereas for Washington I was using Alias Maya, which then became Autodesk Maya eventually. But that's because 3ds Max was the main tool for 3D modeling for games. It had all the tools were streamlined to make it easy and accessible for game modeling. Maya wanted to be the functionality and tool set for organic and spline drawing and spline creation. So they focused heavily on those tools and making more organic objects for 3D space. It was a nice idea because Alias Maya was focusing on that a lot, and then Autodesk came up and said, "Hey, we're gonna purchase you, bring you in." And so even now Autodesk has their whole suite of this is the program built for this and this and this, just like Adobe does, where they have Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere. They now have Animate instead of Flash. So they have all their tools right there for you. End all be all. And here's Blender coming up and around the corner, offering up all of this for free. Slowly but surely, they're edging everyone out and saying we offer all of your graphical needs, and all we ever ask is that if you have a chance, donate a few bucks. If not, at least give us credit, for what tool you use, so more people can figure out like that's a very powerful tool. If I could see them making this awesome stuff, that's right. Coffee's only waking me up so much. Hopefully the oh yeah, Blender is 100% free. Ever since I've known about it since I was working on my bachelor's degree, and I even knew it before I left Washtenaw, before I went from my associates into my bachelor's program. They've been around for ages. They've been around since I started working in 3D modeling and such. And even I was like, I'm more adamant about using this tool that's free than 3ds Max or Maya. So, and again, over the years, they've been developing more features. They've put in a grease pencil, and Actually, I wonder if I could find it, because there's a good video that they made of showing all the tools that they do, and the whole video was made inside Blender. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, animate with the learn the grease pencil 2D animation. Grease pencil. That's not what I wanted though. Let's see. Let's go. I know, because I'm trying to look for a particular one. How about... Let's see if one comes up. Spring, create. Spring, which was made in 2019. Very lovely animation. There's been so many things, and one of the big things I want to reteach myself is rigging, you know, because it's very fun when you're doing it. Procreate has an up. Well, okay. To explain the grease pencil is a 3D pen tool. They do have where you can go and say, I want to make 2D animation or 2D art. But then when you're actually in the 3D world, you can go to their grease pencil and draw three-dimensionally. Which still looks two-dimensional depending on how you use it. But say you've made a bunch of 3D assets, like you have a 3D car, you have one of your characters as 3D. And then you want to go, well, I want this character to look hand-drawn because they're just two different styles, and just a good way to show it. You can draw in your other character into that world right next to the rest of the animation. I really, really want to find this video that shows it, and I wish I'd saved it. Wait, actually, go to my bookmarks. Did I? No. Nope. Well, at least I can say I didn't save it to where I thought I did. As for wherever else it is. I have a lot of bookmarks. Maybe I could find something that shows the grease pencil. Or I could just go to YouTube and go, hey, I bet you it's on their actual channel. And I'm making it so much harder for myself here. Because I'd love to show this, so kind of you would perfect example of what I'm talking about. I know there has to be a video that shows some of this. Where's the short animation? Open movies, tutorials, Blender conference. I'll find it. I know. I didn't prepare it, so that's another sad thing. Heck, I could just sit here and show some of these animations and you'll see exactly what people have made in Blender. And Blender has their own rendering software called Cycles, whereas for of course I'm gonna blank on everything else. There's another one called Red something. Then there's what does Maya use? Maya uses their own proprietary. And then Pixar has their own RenderMan, which is their own rendering software. So it's like there's many rendering softwares that do the calculation of light, and Cycles is what Blender uses, which is very similar to what Maya's is. Now, ray tracing is used throughout a lot of them because that's a more commonplace rendering software. And that's mainly like a plugin for many. Like it can add to a rendered software a lot of times. I think now what they've done with it nowadays. It's just a software that's really good about calculating bouncing light. That's really all rendering software is. It's just it knows how to calculate bouncing light. Well, the great thing about learning those tools means absolutely nothing, but if you can remember the concepts and ideas of what it is to make a good model, what it is to rig and animate and do certain features, any tool is perfect for you. And that's the big misconception. It's like, oh, but this tool is good. It's like, they're all good at everything. Even I did say earlier that Maya was developed more for organic and 3ds Max was meant for more video game 3D. They both can build the same things. It's just the tools aren't as easy to get to in either one of them. Because Maya is focused so much on giving you more tools and more accessibility to organic shapes and organic, means of, creating your objects, that it has a lackluster in its more polygon based. Whereas for 3ds Max has all these nifty gadgets, nifty plugins, everything to help you build a better polygon based model. So if this is the same thing that goes for even like when you work in Illustrator. As long as you know how a vector works, you can go over to Inkscape, and the only barrier you'll have is figuring out where the tool is that you want to use. And if it doesn't exist in like Inkscape, a lot of times somebody's built a plugin that you can pull into there to do it. Same thing goes for Blender. As long as you understand the concept of how 3D models and making clean models is, you can jump into that and do the same thing. It's just learn the individual tool. It's like learning what a hammer does and then what a mallet does. They can do almost the same thing, but they're really more specified to doing one particular job over the other. Because you can technically do the same thing. But obviously one will make it easier to put a nail into the, into the wood, where the other one will be better at putting in the wooden peg into the wood than it would be the nail. So it's like you can use them both for the same purpose. But that's where I'm saying also Blender has this beautiful tendency to be, it wants to be everything you need. It doesn't want to focus on just organic shape and polygons. It wants you to be able to use them both. So it's a program that's just the only barrier you have is learning where all the tools are, and then applying the concepts that you learn. And that's really like when I'm drawing, I try to talk more about, instead of like what I'm drawing and how I draw it, but more of the technique and thought process I have. So that has more value to everyone than me just going, I can make this line doing this, and this is the weight I'm doing. I can actually say like, I don't like how the eye is misshapen because it throws off the balance of the ear here, and therefore I do need to work out something so the whole face is more. Like, that's the kind of concept I'll talk about, because that has more value than me just telling you the technical stuff of what I'm doing. So, again, learning the concept of what it is to do 3D modeling is more important than the program you're using. Because as long as you know the basis of what you're trying to do and what you're aiming for, the matter is just finding the tool in the program that does it for you. Or finding a set of tools, even though it might be convoluted where you have to like create this line and then have to go into this and change it into a rasterize to then blend the two vector points together. And then, yeah, there's some convoluted stuff in Illustrator that I've been doing that I wish was just a button push away. But that's the concept. That's why I'm constantly looking at like, I want to do this job, but in this program. And it's like, oh, this is where you'll find that tool that you're looking for. It's like, okay. So even who I've been working with these programs for a long time, I'll go, I need this. I need to make this. So I know like I'm trying to calculate a curve to be more precise, or I want to repeat this object, several times. Where is this tool at? Like I want to make an array of this particular object. So, and I need to make an array along this curve. So I can make all these cylinders. So I can make the wheel well for the tank. All these little cylinders, and boom, right there. All around that main wheel. So that by far is like, as long as you know what you're aiming to do, it's just a matter of finding the tool. So, even though it was 10 years ago there, Phoenix, as long as if you massage those theories and ideas of how to create something in Maya, you can make it in Blender. And sometimes, like, there's for art, it's never ending learning process. Same thing with any career path you really take under your wing, where you're more the more passionate you are about it, the more you're willing to learn and develop further, and even push the boundaries of certain things. So it's like, yeah, that's why, like, in the other side of things, like, if you don't have a strong interest in it, then you'll never develop that muscle. So what was I looking for? I was looking for... I don't think I'm going to find the video exactly, because there's one specific video that was very, very good. Matter of fact, it could just be on their website. I think that's where I found it. Let's see if I can go to their foundation website. Are blender.org. Organization goals. See, this is also another thing. They're very transparent of what they want to do, what they're putting forward. But again, they don't expect you to give them any money. But that's also another great thing, is that they're passionate about this work. They're passionate about giving a functioning tool to so many people. As a matter of fact, probably one of the things that they make the most money off of is doing tutorials and teaching you how to use the tool and understanding the concepts behind 3D modeling. Okay, so they do. Okay, Spring is one of the... Spring, Coffee Run, Break Fight, Hero. Well, they have a lot listed, but none of which... Cosmos Laundromat, that's right. That one's sitting on my Netflix. It's like, dang it, I still need to watch that. Which, two things that came out this week that I'm so happy that did. One of which everyone will probably know is, of course, Cowboy Bebop, the live action. It's beautiful music. I think, if anything, I really watch it because the music syncs up so well with the action. I think the art, I just can remember the first name, Yoko. Youko. I'm probably misspelling it and probably misinterpreting it, so I'll scratch that and say I don't know the name of the artist. So sit there. Well, and as for Cowboy Bebop, it was made in 1998. That was when it debuted. Only had 22 episodes. And it didn't have any other seasons. It just had 22 episode run. That was just a beautiful story. And this for the live action version is definitely a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, even I think I think Cho does a very good Spike Spiegel. And it's very comedic in his own way. So it's not the same one that what Steve Bloom did with the voice acting in the anime, which Steve Bloom is by far one of our best voice actors in the world, has done. It's still Guinness's world record of most, video game voices, most like just phenomenal amount of work he's done. Range of voices, and he's always got that gruff, and he's got such a range. So much. Yes, his version of Spike Spiegel is very different than the live action version, and it's amazing to see Cho take his own place with it. So I can't remember his full name. I'm terrible with names. But the other one, which is actually an adult animation that I've been looking forward to, was originally made, well, not originally, but was made by an Italian artist. Again, I can't think of the name. Even as I'm sitting here saying, it's like trying to build up, it's like, will I eventually trigger and remember the name? Can't. I'm terrible of giving credits to people. But this is exclusively on Netflix. It's Tear Along the Dotted Line. That is a 6-episode run. And I love the build up to episode 5, to where then there's the very last line in that episode, and it completely changes how the last 5 episodes were running, and you get in more of a concept and idea of like, oh my gosh, this is actually what he's talking about. It's such a different approach to the whole thing, and it also seems like they're planning on another season. And it'd be great to see what this, what the artist does, because he has such a candid way of portraying his main character, which is essentially him. Like he talks from first person point of view all the time. So it's all of his thoughts, which are incredibly crazy. I found myself laughing a lot at it because I could relate to many of the inner thoughts that you have that just seem to go off in some wild tangent. But yeah, that one was by far one of my most favorite. I've already watched it twice through. It is adult animation, and it does have a very serious, message in it, and that might be a little bit sensitive to some people, because I'm just gonna, I don't know if I should ruin it by saying, because you don't quite know exactly what the buildup is until episode 5. The hints are there. It builds up to it, but since there's so much comedic action and such a gruff way, and in many ways a narcissistic, even he calls himself a narcissist. He has a narcissistic way of looking at the world, where it's more of like his point of view always. But that's also the first person point of view when storytelling. You're saying it from your point of view, your mind, your thoughts, and even he has that same self-defecating feeling of like, I'm a bit of a butthead. I'm not cussing. I'm a bit of a butthead thinking this way, and so he has this self-awareness too that is in his character. It's very surreal, and the great part is his subconscious or his consciousness. Like how Jiminy Cricket was to Pinocchio. He is an armadillo. He is an armadillo that talks to him. And it's a great, I just strongly recommend Tear Along the Dotted Line. It is great. I'll go back to this screen here. So, as I'm sitting here talking and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Big Buck Bunny. Oh yeah. Oh wow, they have a game from 2008 that I didn't even realize. But yeah, they have a lot of The llama drama. Llama drama. But Cosmos Laundromat. That one's on Netflix, and that was made with Blender Foundation in conjunction with Blender Foundation. Looks like Blender Studio. Okay. One I really want to look at is Hero. Forgot about that. Gosh, I'm just terrible. Not keeping up with any of these. You can get the Blender logo for purposes of advertising for them. You know, maybe that's what I should put down below in my Twitch stream. You know, say Blender. Blender is a great tool. I need to put myself more into it now that a lot of things have changed and upgraded. I was using 2.7 for the longest time before I finally upgraded to 2.93, and it changed a lot. So now I'm a bit lost in where my tools are. Sadly, I also had a plugin that allowed me to change a lot of the features to it was 3ds Max kind of format, so it was easier to find my tools because I'd been working in 3ds Max for so long. I don't know. Is this one that's running? I still think this is done in 3D models, but it has the two-dimensional feel to it. Matter of fact, it looks more like a game. Fueled by caffeine, a young woman runs through the bittersweet memories of her past relationship. Oh, get the production files, assets, tutorials, and exclusive making of video by joining Blender Cloud at. Oh, so there you go. You could actually see all these things. And then they got Sprite. It came out 3 weeks ago. Well, maybe I should watch that one. I love watching animations anyways, so that's one of my biggest things is I will sit here and go down an endless little pathway of watching every little animation suggestion that YouTube puts up in front of me. Wrong rock. Oh yeah, I love that one. That was a bunch of mushrooms on opposite side. Yeah. Gosh, should I just get into a game, or I could be here all day just staring at these individual videos instead of actually showing them. So, there we go. Yeah, there's Ginge for you. Why can't I see my butt? There we go. Of course, I have it large on the wrong screen. So Blender had this one come out 3 weeks ago. I have not seen this premiere before, so I do not know. Maybe I can take a look at this and maybe even break down some of the work. Let's see if I can do that. So again, I have not previewed this, but given that it is it's very child oriented, but this is Sprite Fright, Blender Open movie. I've never known them to make anything that was dark and anything, so I apologize if it does end up being something that I didn't expect, because I did not preview this. So let's see. And I'm gonna play it through the first time, which is gonna be about 10 minutes long according to this, and then I'll see about going through and seeing what it is, and seeing what what their animations, and especially because one of the best things I like to do when viewing these things is taking notes on how they move from one shot to the next to continue action and storytelling. So it's especially because like that's the concept of like breaking it down in storyboard form. We need to hit this shot for this emotion, need this facial expression, need these motions, and need a establishing shot so we can see the whole world of where we are. So that's one of the things I expect to see is like every trailer should usually open up with a nice establishing shot. And that way you get an idea of the world you're in. And build from that moment, that suspense of this is a very vast world. This is, let's see how big the world is that they want to show us right away. And then see if they bring it, and like maybe the midway mark, 5 minutes in, they're gonna do another big establishing saying the world is much bigger than what we originally showed you. And like we could hit certain storytelling marks. So let's watch this. Again, this is just some good fun to watch and break down. So I'm gonna watch it all the way through, trying to make as little comments as possible. But I'll probably be making comments like I always do. But here we go. In fact, how about? Wish I knew the hot button for full screen. Well, there's this one. It's just F or. I know that there's another way to have it, so it's Chrome to do it, but this will work. Full screened. Here we go.
Hello, Mr. Snail. Oh, you cute little corner person. Latin name, bonus points.
Oh my goodness.
The tree hugger. If I have to hear the Latin name for one more animal, I swear I'm.
Oh my gosh.
Sugar buns. While she does all the work, we'll have all the.
This has a Wallace and Gromit feel to it. The style of the characters and the animation.
Come on, team. We mustn't dilly-dally when there's so much nature to see.
It's got that claymation style, so it's 15 frames per second is definitely what they're working with.
Get it? Because we're a group of fun guys and also.
It's a great way of, portraying action still.
And she's in distress. There, my little Montezuma flower. Oh, look at her go. Wow.
Out of the way, Dorkwad. We're camping here.
Finally, time to get that barbecue burning.
Oh dear.
There's your diverse character set. What?
Easy, guys. We're supposed to be studying nature, not wrecking it.
Piss break. Oi, fungus freak. Make yourself useful and fix the tent.
Oh, a bit of friendly campsite ribbing.
She wouldn't survive 5 minutes alone in these woods. Yeah, she's a real weenie, that one, innit? Oi, Phil, are those sausages coming?
Almost ready.
Dang.
Bit more so.
Ah! This is a good example of humanity's effect on environment. The less you care. And there we go. Makes me even more sad that this creature's part of its head was destroyed.
It's incredible. It's a new species.
Yeah, that is. Oh no.
No, shag the mushroom.
Hey, see they're Smurfs.
Adorable.
Yeah, absolutely bloody adorable.
So it's the what is it?
Which one of those
The
things?
Bizarro Mystery Squad
Get on, MT.
and Smurfs blending together, right? That's what it feels like.
Shouldn't disrupt their habitat.
But with an additional person that actually has a conscience.
Oh.
Greetings. Welcome, friends.
Oh my gosh, there's Papa Smurf.
Could I interest you in some peppermint tea?
Ooh, peppermint tea, very good for
We are
digestion
spreads.
and calming the
We spread
nerves.
balance to the forest. We take care of the animals, plants, birds, moss, animals.
What?
Guys,
Hey, little mushroom geezer. You
All right. This is definitely turning with a bit more of a dark twist.
Friend of the forest is a friend of the sprites.
Sprite fright. That's what it said.
or something.
This is put out during Halloween time, so.
Maybe they were just pets or something.
Oh gosh.
Guys? Guys?
There we go. That's what we expected.
Funny. Guys?
This is amazing. I like how cheery it is with the dark twist. Like I said, I was not had not previewed this, and they're definitely
We were just gonna catch one, but they're psycho. You gotta get me out of these hurry.
this is a bit darker than I thought it would be. But this is Halloween for you. Late in November.
You picked the wrong camping spot, bitches.
Oh. I'm allowed a few of those. So again, I know this is animation. I didn't realize how. So this is bizarre. This is the bizarro world of the Mystery Squad and bizarro world of Smurfs. It's definitely hitting the marks of most scary movies. But this is great. Oh, even her who's nice. Okay, well, that just became. Oh, whack-a-mole! Great, always good to see that in the game, in a movie. Hmm. Yeah, the slugs you smashed earlier, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay, yeah, you know, they all got their own little thing back at them. This is a bit more than I expected. If you can't see it, I'm probably blushing. It's like, I didn't preview this before I hit play. I was thinking, oh, it can't be awful. Salty snacks, your ultimate weapon.
Don't want to hurt you. Just keep your distance. All right then. Eat salty little green bastards.
I love the ninja stars. Okay. Again, this is okay kid violence. Oh my gosh. Because, you know, these aren't human. The downside of wearing a fanny pack. It can trip you up. Don't wear them loose, kids. Oh no, Papa Smurf again.
The world has their own personal rubbish bin, and you set them free. Now you'll join them.
What? Oh, the bird she saved. See how nice. She was the one that was there to observe. Gotta move quick. I do not recommend using your fanny pack this way. It will not work. Trust me, I tried as a little kid. They're not cool. They're not Indiana Jones whips. They really aren't. It's not effective.
I'll give you that one, Brother Bird. All right, sprites, let's burn the bodies and have some peppermint tea. Keeping us wherever we roam. Di-dee-di-dilly, the forest is our happy home. All together now.
that was bird droppings, because the bird she saved earlier came back and bombed Papa Smurf, Papa Sprite, in the face, giving her the opportunity to escape. Matthew, you're very twisted. Very awesome. So yeah, it's like, that was quite, like, when I first saw it, it's like, I'm hoping it's more appropriate. And it was bird dropping. Very organic. And look at this. So this is made in Blender. With Cycles, Blender Studio supporters. And look at all these people that help support this 10-minute short. Tremendous amount of people, an excellent amount of work. And it felt very, very smooth. It had a lot of great... I don't have anything really bad to say, just other than I did not expect it to go so dark, but I should have looked at the time that it was 3 weeks ago, so this is before Halloween, so this is developed for that kind of, for that audience. There we go. So I think that was really great. So, like, even going back over it again, they had a claymation style, so 15 frames per second was used, and it looked so great. Had that Wallace and Gromit feel, because everything has that kind of Wallace feel, as well as the voice acting was British, so that kind of pulls in that Wallace and Gromit feel. So, like, this is Blender, and they were able to make it look like they had modeled it in clay. It still looked like it was in a 3D program, mind you, because there is some difference in lighting between taking still shots with a camera of moving clay compared to a 3D rendered version. There's small differences, but if they really, 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 really wanted to push Cycles to the edge, they could have probably gotten more of a realistic material look, but it's not necessary, because it's its own art style. It worked beautifully for it, and I like the beard, the hair on the I don't remember the Papa Sprite, the Papa Smurf character. That beard hair looks like it was, again, they were going for that claymation style, and they really wanted to look like it was fabric that was put onto the clay, and that came out so well. So Cycles has been doing very good with hair. I haven't played around with that in quite some time, man, because hair is its own beast. Trying to make a short-haired animal or more hair on an animal is also so much work. So, like, that's huge. Of course, I don't know why can you see your butt there, Ginge. So that's a clear example of what how good Blender is. And again, the same program, they're able to edit all the shots inside Blender to do that. So instead of going to Premiere or After Effects, they can do it all there. That's that's part of the Blender tool that I really have never. They've had the editing suite, but I've never felt like it was ever adequate enough. But again, I think I should sit down with it and look at it more closely, because it's definitely a lot more than before. I don't know, maybe should I find another one? Because I mean, this is Saturday morning cartoons. Finding another Blender based one would be great. But Sprite Fright, so that was definitely a Halloween theme from a bit ago. Oh, here we go. Let's just go right into this one. This was the other one that they made. Another one that was made. An open Blender. So this is actually, they also have all the assets and everything, so you could technically take this into Blender and make your own version of this animation, because they if you're part of the Blender club, again, I'm not being sponsored by Blender to show any of this. I'm watching it because I'm a very big fan of animation. So again, they don't sponsor me. I don't get any kickback from this. I'm just having fun watching this with you. So, but like in this specific one, it actually says in its description that you can go to the Blender club and get the assets and other things that you can use in Blender itself. And that is a tremendous amount of, effort to give you that kind of stuff. And then you can just play around with making animations. So I can't tell you how many times, like, I really wish I just had the model. And then you go to Turbo Squid, which again, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I say these places all the time because these are places I look at and say, like, I really should just buy this model so I can just animate and do 3D animation. And not only that, but also buying those particular models can be used in your comics, because that is one thing that Procreate, I believe, has it. Clip Studio Art does, where they have 3D models that you can reposition the camera, take a snapshot of it, pull it into your work, and then draw over the top of it your character. So you have a better reference, especially when you're trying to get those really interesting perspective shots of close up to the face, but then the body is elongated away from it. If you're really trying to get that bizarro kind of look, those tools are amazing. Here's the other thing. Blender, if you really want to, you can create your own. So Blender's being a freeware program, if you can find other assets for free and utilize them in any way, awesome. Really makes me think about, like, I should really sit down and make like an office asset box. Here's a city landscape, set of, assets, and just develop those, because even I could use those for my own comics and my own animations, especially because I'm doing a lot more hand-drawn stuff instead of 3D modeling. So, but again, coffee run, there's assets and everything, so you can look at this. I have not previewed this one prior, but I believe this is a little bit more tame than the last one, being Sprite Fright, that came out 3 weeks ago. This one came out, was it a year ago? I don't remember. But this came out a while ago. Blender Animation Studio presents Coffee Run. Who doesn't like to go for a coffee run? As I'm reminded, and I'll sip at my coffee. What we do for caffeine, and that was pretty graphic, to jump on a pregnant woman. I wish caffeine gave me these kinds of superpowers. Dang. I guess this is because I drink caffeine too much. It just mellows me out and makes me normal enough. If I used it more sparingly, maybe I'd have these gifts. Don't! No! Your coffee! I guess you get a new one. Whoa! Look at that. That's right. Power up with caffeine. See, this is a great animation for that purpose alone, too. Wait. It's a repeat! It's endless looping! That's great. That's beautiful. I think she just murdered somebody with that stomp on the head. I heard a crunch, and that head did not look like it was in a good position. I apologize. I didn't realize that there was going to be any gruesome, mean way of ending somebody. Okay. So we've seen this a second time. We're going into a third run. Anything changing? And that's pretty cruel. I've just noticed that that was a cat. That was pretty graphic to do with a cat. And the guy's missing that time. The guy, they're sitting down. So there's small changes, but yet she's on the same coffee run. She's on her knees this time. She's on a skateboard. Are these alternate universes? Maybe this is also just showing off that what people have done with this animation to change it up over the course of the run. Because, like, even the clerk is doing something different. Here she is. All that caffeine. Okay, so we have it come to its conclusion there. Rigging and everything, yeah. Software pipeline, nice. Thanks to Blender Cloud and development team. Blender Cloud and Blender. There we are. See, that actually is a really nice way of using those assets and seeing it change over time. And it was subtle changes that after like the third run, I really started to notice like how much it changed background wise. Not necessarily for the main character. The main character was doing the exact same animations until they got to the coffee shop. Then it changed a little bit. That repetition. I think it was a great kind of show of cycling through the same thing over and over again. I'm about to sneeze. There we go. Okay. Sneezed. Sprite Fright was great. Coffee Run is great. Very smooth. Felt very good. And not only that, but almost watching Coffee Run again for the purposes of just seeing the background, like seeing how that second rendition, because I barely noticed any changes in the second one. The third one was clearly assets had changed, animations had altered for the background. So the secondary character, not the main focus, was getting more life than the actual main character. And that's a great way of, showing that this character was stuck in this cycle. Especially at the end, that last shot, she sat down. You saw how many cups were sitting around her. Endless life of caffeine. Could I function without caffeine? I'd probably be in a state of coma. My brain doesn't know how to work on its own anymore. So 2 years ago, Spring, another Blender open movie. This one I do recall seeing. This is very lovely. Let's do it. So I do recall seeing this one, but this was a while ago too. This is 2 years old. So you can kind of see a progression backwards of where they are now to where they were just a couple years ago. So, and again, this is 2 years ago, and it still looks very good. It still has such a great amount of detail that they're able to work into this whole thing, this whole program. There you go. An opening establishing shot that's so beautiful that shows you the vastness of this world. And here we are, the small speck of our character. Exploring the great wide open. And of course, well, little dog. I think this was also a big introduction of a lot of the hair update that they had. Oh, look at him eat that biscuit. Them deep green eyes. I have green eyes too. The rare part is a ginger with blue eyes. But you know, ginger with green eyes. Just good. Alright, so we had our establishing shot. Now we're being introduced, especially with the music growing softer. We're getting more seriousness as we see the world kind of shrink a little bit. We can't see a great open space. It's like this world is expanding into the other one that is still vast, still great, but it's probably growing smaller with every moment of this. Because there's a lot of death right here, and we saw a lot of green outside of this area. So we're being shown a great deal of probably alarm with our character here. But they're here with a purpose. Okay. Gong. Again, it's been a while since I've seen this, so I don't exactly know what's gonna happen. But interesting. Oh my goodness. Maybe this is a forest spirit that's... Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that monster design too. This is just... Oh, that's right! It plays via music. I'm sorry, I'm ruining things. Sorry. All of those, I believe, have a... Yep. There we go. There it is. I love this creature design. It is... Oh my gosh, there's more. And their feet and legs look like trees. What a wonderful... This is like a young druid. Ooh. 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 All right, here's our conflict. So they're chasing after it themselves. Oh, and it's gonna smash it? There we go. Do all dogs have this, like, Napoleon complex? I'm rough and tough, despite my size. So these creatures live in this mist. Do they... She's leading them out? Again, the creature design is just so great. They have, because that structure on the head is like a moth. It's so... see, they were keeping the sunlight, which kept spring from being a part of that valley. She's merely requesting that they move on. Do what nature, intends. Again, there's a lot of interpretation for this because we're not given a great deal of understanding, but that's a good example of showing us that how many times has this happened, is that this request to move on so the spring may come to the valley. That's what's great about a lot of short stories, is that they don't have to give you a tremendous amount, but they just have to tell you a little tidbit and have that amount of mystery that really allows you to start exploring it in your own imagination. What more could it mean? What could this world actually mean? So it's like we got a huge amount of information, but so many unanswered questions about how the world works. And that's how a lot of short stories are. We get a glimpse into something. And again, just beautiful. Again, see, I just absolutely love animation. This is why I highly recommend Tear Along the Dotted Line on Netflix right now. Again, not being sponsored, just something great to watch. But it does have a very serious message to be put through. And because it does have a bit of dark humor, has a bit of, just to state it plainly, it does focus on the death of a character too. And you don't quite, it only hints towards it until you get towards the end. So, but it has a very strong message. And I believe they did very well with telling the tale, and very much took some care with it. But again, it was trying to be funny. It was trying to be that's why I say it's a dark humor kind of thing. It was being funny. It was being very serious, and it really was taking a hard look at life, and especially from this point of view of this particular character. And it's beautiful because we can all relate to this main character to some degree, even in his own narcissism, in his own perspective, from his point of view only. A lot of times, we still can relate to the feelings in Tear Along the Dotted Line. So I strongly recommend watching it. It's by far one of my favorite animations so far this year. And here we are coming closer to its end. Yes. Oh my gosh, this was done 11 years ago in Blender. Actually, I'm kind of curious to watch this one. This one should show even more significant change. Over. Of course, this one's 15 minutes. I do recall watching this a long time ago. I don't. Taking a quick preview. So if anything, I will say this. It has very much, if you've ever seen the movie Final Fantasy Spirits Within, it has a very strong stylized feeling like that one is, but with a little bit less of we're trying to make the humans as real as possible. So it pulls back from that, but it has that same same render style of the lighting. If you've seen it, so I might be stretching a little bit when I say this, but I do feel like that's if they'd wanted to push towards more realistic shapes of humans and the texture design that Spirits Within really put forward. Spirits Within, they did a huge, as a matter of fact, like they didn't do traditional textures. They actually made human masks based on what they wanted the characters. So with all the blemishes and everything, flatten those out and made a 3D and made well not a 3D scan, but made a 2-dimensional scan of it to put on a 3-dimensional object. So they were taking the art style and skills of mask makers and how much detail you can put into it, and then pulling in that and then wrapping on a 3D model, which is practically the same thing you do. You make a mask to put on somebody so they can look like that, look like a particular character, or shape and change up the shape of like their chin or their eyes and the eyebrows and like certain features. But this is full face masks. And they did that a lot with it. I do recall saying like that's a lot of extra work because they were doing high resolution scans of these. And then they even had because that same scan would allow them to, because this is what makes 3D, 3D textures work is a lot of times is by one, you have a diffuse map, which is the coloring. Having a normal map, so you can actually, it automatically calculates certain bumps. So like you have certain blemishes and aspects, and then there's a specular map. So you might be, if your cheekbones are a little bit more greasy, you'll have more shine. Whereas as you get further away from it, this part of the skin, I have a lot of facial hair. It becomes dull because the reflection of light from my oily skin underneath this is a lot less. So you'd pull that down. So you can change the reflectiveness or the how much light is bounced off a surface based off the specular map. So when they make one texture from this mask, they're also then bringing in the how does light affect it? How does a bump map look? How are all these other features that we need rendered across this surface going to be portrayed? So yeah, when you texture in 3D, you have a lot more steps. And even when you do cartoon stylized, there's still an aspect of, yes, you might have the a single color, but you can also then put in that same material, which is what it's used, and change up and say, well, I want highlights and I want shadows, but I want them to be a single color. So when your shadow is, you can say, well, I want my shadow to be this level of gray, and I want my highlight to be this level of white or yellowish tone, depending on if it's sunlight. And you can set it to be an extreme where it's going this color, then boom, lock it to the shadow. And the shadow will shift as you move the camera around and the lighting around and get certain angles. Oh, the only time the shadow moves when you're actually looking through the camera is depending on your angle and the sunlight. If you move the sun, you'll show that too. But it's you can make a cartoonized character that's 2-dimensional, but still has a 3D aspect of the material because you change how the light looks, and then you keep that camera in the same position and keep it in like isometric. You can change the lighting around that character, and it'll shift the highlight and shadow for you automatically on it. So especially if you're doing a time lapse, saying this character is sitting in the middle, like waiting at a bus stop and waiting for ages, you can do that single shot and move the sunlight as it goes through day shifts. And it'll automatically, have that all rendered out for you. This is how the light shifts based upon what you told me. The material of their skin, their clothing, and all that stuff works based upon highlights and shadows. So anyways, I keep spieling about these things. Because again, it comes down to is more of the concept of what am I trying to do? More than how does this tool work? So if you understand what you're aiming for, the tool has a means of telling you how to do it. So Blender does have these built into it. It just might not be so easily found. You might have to go grab a plugin that gives you more functionality instead of, the basics of what, was first developed. Because I found that one thing with Blender, yes, is that not every single plugin is automatically turned on. You might have to go into the preference section and then go into the plugin section and actually hit the check mark going, I need this feature. Because not everything's turned on for you. And it's like, we're going to give you the bare minimum, and then you turn on extra features as you need them. So we're not tossing all the marbles out in front of you at once and saying, gather them up. But this is Sintel? And this is from 11 years ago. It says a little dragon. It's 14 minutes long. And this is about... Okay, I do believe this has... kind of a dark ending. A very serious ending, very sad ending. Because now that I'm taking a quick look at it, it's like I remember. So this has an emotional heartbreak kind of portion to the story. Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna view this one. I think this might be the last one because it's particularly long. Spring open movie. The whole design production report. All right, so this one is about. This one has this has dragons and a little girl. Well, not really little, teenage girl that finds the dragon, and then you see it's just a little heartbreaking. I think they've taken a lot of influence from Pixar in a lot of these, but this is from 11 years ago. So this is a huge sea of like where they were 11 years ago, and then you saw Sprite Fright and where they are now, and how much they've come. And like that was a claymation style, and that rendering of Papa Smurf's hair was so tremendous. So 11 years ago, this is what they had been developing. I noticed that they didn't do the footprints in the snow. Understandable, it's a lot of extra work to make sure it works. Like many things, you pick your fights. You're not going to fight with snow making all the imprints that you're going to make here. All right, well, that's, again, family friendly. There's no blood, so it's definitely PG-13. But you can see a lot of the skin. There's not a heck of a lot of reflectiveness or alteration, so it's the material used for the skin was to be very effective to let you know that it's skin, but not dynamic like some others have made it. And that's a good choice, because one, the more dynamic you make a material, the longer it's going to render as it's calculating the bounce of light. Oh, here we go.
It has shed much innocent blood.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fool for traveling alone so completely unprepared. You're lucky your blood's still flowing.
Thank you.
So, what brings you to the land of the gatekeepers?
I'm searching for someone.
Someone very dear. A kindred spirit.
A dragon.
There we go. We're going to be straight up in front.
For a lone hunter.
I've been alone for as long as I can remember.
So maybe she's a young adult because, if I'm not mistaken, they don't age her model or anything over time. And then I've given away quite a bit actually by saying that. Sorry. You'll still see what I'm talking about. Oh. You can see that like the dragons they have a shadow, but because of the lighting it's not exactly blending very well with the rooftop. Haha, blender. It looks a little disjointed from the world, is all. But
Hey, sit still.
this is still the point is to get the story a lot across as well as not make it so because like the materials, the detail in the dragon itself is so awesome. The details in that blanket for that texture design of fabric. And expecting cycles and doing a lot of things to render, you have to have the time to invest in longer render times. Sometimes it's like it's not worth all that extra.
Get him, Scales! Come on, get him!
Aww. Uh-oh, where's Scales? Got the chicken. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember, since its hands are part of its wings, it's not a full-fledged dragon, because dragons have 4 legs with their wings. Or that could be like an elder dragon. I want to say this is a wyvern, is what the difference is. If you've ever played D&D, you'd sit down and go, I know the compendium, I know each one. And wyverns are used most often because they're wilder than an actual dragon is. Dragons are more, what's it? Yeah, like that's a full-grown wyvern. Smack. There's also the texture for the eye does not have a lot of glossiness, and I believe you would do that for the purposes of not making it too render intensive for just the eyes. There is some glossy because I can see a small highlight from where the sun is set. You know, the lighting is set for the eye. And the nice thing about Blender 2 is just like any other program is you can set up specific lights that only affect particular objects. So if I wanted a light system that I wanted 2 highlights, like 2 shiny spots across the eye, I can make another spotlight that effectively just hits the eye and won't touch any of the body and let you have that kind of extra feature if it's necessary. Like your planet has 2 suns. You might have 2 shines because you have 2 different light sources coming at your character, but you don't want to effectively change everything. You just want to show another shimmer from in the eyes, saying that there is 2 objects producing light. And same thing can happen when you're in an enclosed place like a nightclub. There's multiple lights that are across everything, but again, your character's staring off center from the camera, and you need another light source that's coming from this angle, but we don't have it in the shot. We just have to pretend it's there. I'm telling you, there's a shine on the eyeball from right over here because there's a light source coming directly at the eye. Same thing with the one that's coming from the camera. There's another light source here, so we'd have 2 spotlights that are hitting the eye particularly well. And that's if you need them. But as I'm talking over this. Again, 11 years ago, and this warm lighting they have in this room is very lovely.
You are closer than you know.
Hair effects were beautiful even from 11 years ago. You can see that they made it in tufts. It makes it a little bit easier when controlling. So to make every single strand by itself. Same thing, hair effect on a tree. Allows you to get that nice, beautiful effect without going, I'm going to make a bunch of leaves. Which you could. You can use the hair effect, I believe, and replace each follicle with a leaf. With a single, you design one leaf, and it'll just throw it across the whole thing. You can do that. Simplify your work. Make one leaf, and just use an array, a hair array to put it across everything. There we are. Okay, we found. Now this is the part where some of the storytelling is a bit hard to follow, because we have such a change in time, yet we haven't seen it. So, because there's some features here that we're gonna see. And this has a lot to do with going back to that wound that we saw on the wing. Here we go, I think. No, not yet. Quite skilled. So I'd say this is the stretch, is that we haven't seen a passage of time like anything else. So here it is, the pause before she realizes what's happened, what she's done. There you go. The scar that was on that little wyvern. There's your display of passage of time that was kept as a mystery. She just killed her best friend. And there we go. She's aged. Her hair is grayed. But yet we never saw that because she hasn't seen herself. So this is like a little bit, stretch. But she's been on this one quest for so long. So the part of the story is she's been so blind to the rest of the world that she was so stuck on this one quest, this one idea of finding a friend, and then the tragedy of finally finding them, confusing it with the one that took the scales. So that's why it's like this tragedy of that perspective of time is what's coming into question. She's been so single-minded the whole time that never really kind of clicked that how much time has passed. And now we see the age. And there it is. A nice metaphor of the drooping flowers to show the sadness of the moment. Because we can't see her face. But here it is. Scales' offspring following her. Oh. I'm glad that it does end with a little bit of hope that her journey was not for naught, but she ends up killing her best friend without knowing. And it was at a brief moment when even Scales was like, wait a second, I recognize you. I recognize your smell. It's been so long since I've seen you. That passage of time is such a big deal. And they really kept it as a secret. So it's kind of getting to be that stretch, but until they do that reflection. But when you think about it, like, it's not like she had any opportunity to look at herself. She probably never looked at herself in the water. And then we get to this one moment where she's starting to realize the world has moved on quite a ways. Render farm, just a cluster. So yeah, actually, there are, if you look up on Google, look up on any search, there are rendering farms that you can, you pay for the time because you're paying for them to, you sit there, keep an array of computers on to render out so many frames. And so, and the services are actually quite nice. If you're trying to make something extensive like this and don't want to build your own server array for rendering, then they're great to hire for that purposes of your final render. Because you should have a mini means of rendering. Like, you'd probably have, if you're trying to do a solo project, it's going to be hard. It's going to be long work. So think in more smaller amounts of time, not 15 minutes, but maybe more like 60 seconds for your own personal projects. If you're doing something solo. I had that same problem where it's like, I have grand ideas, but I need a team of people to help me make it in a timely manner. Otherwise, it could take me a decade to make that myself. Because it just can be. There's all the sketches. Blender Institute. Again, 11 years old. That's where they were 11 years ago. And to see where they are with Sprite Fright, pushing the envelope with that. I still haven't found the video that I was looking for in the first place. But, you know, that's the way of things, right? Find everything else but the one thing I wanted. Yep, take your 2D to 3D. Which is another thing, is like learning to draw and draw three-dimensionally to understand the flow of like shapes and everything is a tremendous tool that can help you do 3D modeling. Me? I studied very lightly two-dimensional design and graphics, like that stuff, and went right into 3D modeling. And the only advantage I can say that I really have when it came to that is what every teacher was telling me before I got to college, was that I just see the world a bit differently. And matter of fact, that was a very polite way of saying that I see a lot of shapes. So even when it came to reading, I didn't quite see words. I saw the shapes of letters that made up that shape of a word. So reading can still be quite the difficult task at times. My goodness, look at me here. Almost 2 hours in, and I haven't drawn a single lick of anything. Look at me go! Ha ha ha! Actually, now that I'm looking about this, where is voice mod? Oh, it is open in the background. Well, at least it's open in the background, because I was like, I'm very glad it's not a... Oh, there we go. There, I have a whole bunch I can use. But I don't know. Maybe I should go into playing a game, go into drawing Pokemon like I'd said if I was a good boy and I could go play a game. I don't know. Today can go any which way I want. I've worked throughout the week designing so many things. Maybe it is an opportunity to take a rest. And as you can see, I watch animation and I sit here and just rip it down and go, I see this. I like these features. That I feel like could work, be some more work. But again, I've analyzed animation all my life. And I don't know, it's very fun to see the work done. Trust me, I appreciate everything they've done. I love the animation. I love these aspects of storytelling. It just, when you analyze, sometimes it's a bit of like more critical thinking. Like, we could have done this, but at the same time, it's already done. It's already finished. So learn the lessons from this one so it can improve your next project. So that's another aspect of me even being critical on it. Going, maybe this could be worked a little bit more. Maybe this aspect, storytelling, is just perfect. And I really like the feel of this, and then saying the good points, the bad points. If you find any bad points, find how to change it, how to fix it. And I mean, that's part of, watching any of these. It's, when you take a film appreciation, this is what you're doing. You're taking the whole film, and you're breaking it down, understanding it more thoroughly. And that's what I do with my animation watching. Heck, that's what I was doing when I was watching Tear Along the Dotted Line. Yeah, they don't sponsor me. They don't do anything. Netflix doesn't say, "Hey, here's a little lump sum to keep promoting us." Like, no, they don't. But I really do love that animation. And that just came out Monday or Tuesday. So many things. One of my weak points is doing landscapes. I really do. Because if I could do landscapes, I can make quite a bit. I can do quite a bit. Well, I've just found, as I'm talking about landscapes.
So let's say you have
Pause.
to read an incredibly
Pause. I'm saving this one for another time. It's like, well, you know what? Again, YouTube has so many things. This is why I say, like, you don't have to go to school for any of this stuff. If you know what you're looking for, you can find it on YouTube. If you don't, then always ask a question. Like, here. I've been doing this for a while. I might have a few suggestions on what you can, if you're trying to get certain features, certain aspects to your own drawings. I'm always willing to answer those questions. So that's I'm part of the reason what I'm here for is to help you find your own art style, find your own means of doing your own creative works. And by far, one of the things I would love to sit down and do, I just have to look at the legal aspects of it, is pull up WebToonz canvas and take a look and break down the structure of the comics in that, because I can't help but just keep reading about proper structure and storytelling methods through all of this, through animation and comics, and just the stylized forms, how best to tell a story. The worst part is that I end up spending more time reading about it, understanding and analyzing them, than I actually do making my own. So that's a feature that needs to change. I need to start making my own so I can rip them apart and going, this is what I need to change. This is what I want to update. This is the thing. These are the features that they'll add more. So that is a big deal. Oh, Psycho's demo reel from 2016. Oh yeah. 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3 weeks ago. Sprite Fright. I really wish there was, maybe it's on Blender Studio, because this should have, yeah, that has Sprite Fright. I'm gonna do another search for Blender feature highlights. See if I can find the video that I really was essentially trying to get in the first place. Because this is just a full render, kind of quick little animation. Oh, they have Blender 3.0 on the horizon. Of course they do. Nope, that's not the video. Nope. Of course. And like I keep saying, like, if you have any suggestions, anything you want me to go over, by all means, please ask. I would love. Oh, again, I am more always open to questions, because one of the things I always love doing is just helping analyze things for people or brainstorm with you. Sometimes if you have an idea and it's like, I'm hitting the wall, I don't know what I should do with this. Talking it out with someone can be tremendous help. 3.x. No. No. See if that, because I know it's particularly the grease pencil I want to see. Which the grease pencil is such a great way to get some really nice 2D features into your work. That kind of give that little, I don't know, it's a stylized form you could use to, if it helps your storytelling. So there's times where it works, then there's other times where it's like, it's a little too far stretched. So, but you have to be willing to really make that whole thing work for you. $3D art with 2D skills, anime food. Getting to be lunchtime. I had a really big brunch though. I'm not finding the video that I want to show. Again, I didn't prep this like I should have. This has all been kind of like, oh yeah. Let's do this. Let's show this. This has all been kind of impromptu today. I don't know. This is what I spend a good portion of my day doing. Is just, hey, look at this one. Let's see how this one works. Let's analyze this. Oh, another great thing, yes, is using the grease pencil for an animatic. So taking your storyboard to another level and trying to get the shots and movement and ideas is a great feature. So when it comes to storyboarding, grease pencil is a tremendous tool. So there you go. Not only does Blender have, their own little, they have a storyboard tool built into their whole system. See, there's all these little things like Yeah, I remember that aspect. And then reading these little features like storyboard animatic grease pencils. Like, of course. Mention that. Say that. Again, I'm unscripted. Not prepared anything. That's good or bad. Well, I may or may not find what I'm looking for. Ah, grease pencil arm rigs. So you can even use it to rig vectorize stuff. So boom, there you go. Really, blenders turned out to be the tool end all be all for what you want and need. I might just have to sit down and just go, I'm done. I'm done sitting off to the side, playing with it here, just full run into it. I really wanted to show, it's just a highlight video. It's so quick. Now here's something. Maybe I should show this. This is from 3 years ago when they were first introducing it. And then they had such a tremendous update to it, I felt. To where it really became more than just like a tool. It became like an incredibly useful tool. And a lot of people start thinking like, oh, I could do this. Yeah. So this one is Hero. Full screen it. It's from 2.8, so it's not 2.93. I really liked the video they showed because then it really started even making me think like it's very viable. But this is all done with the grease pencil from what the description tells me. And this is still using like that traditional 2D animation style. And it works beautifully. I strongly suggest it. Like I keep telling myself, I need to sit down and play with the tool more myself, so I'm not sitting here off to the side going, yeah. It's like there's definitely ways of making Blender work more like Krita, work more like like any other, and Blender is built off Python, so it's a nice clean script. I keep talking about Python scripting. It's like I like it. I really need to sit down and learn more of it myself. One of those tools that's just so helpful. But again, I have not previewed this, so I'm not exactly sure how adult themed this is. But Hero. There we are, see? Wow. Nice. So replacement of their power source, the new rock. Uh-oh. Opposition. And got a scar on the face with a nice... Now the question is, who is the real hero? The person that just stole? Or the gentleman that just got the badge of honor for bringing everything? Technological differences between two different people. Oh, Jetpack is really messing up on him. Uh-oh. Very serious. So again, the question is, who's the hero? Because this stone looks like it might belong to them. Yeah, there you go. See, it's a great tale of saying heroes based upon your perspective. Yes, because the one was a hero of his own people because he brought them power to a more technologically advanced. So you can here's a great way of showing the 3D models that were used, and then the grease pencil to use to make characters, and how you're look at that. Look at that. Has a world of cloudiness. Can really. There we go. See all that beautiful. Look at that. See, that is the kind of tool features you really want. And oh my goodness, the onioning. So you can see that they have a flat character, two-dimensional character, but they have a 3D camera that allows them to do quite a bit. Yeah, they're using a 3D asset to allow you to draw in. Yep, and that's, again, you know your perspective, you know where everything is, where the camera's sitting. You can fake the whole scene. That's awesome. One of the big things is you know that's why you pre-plan shots. You understand what you're aiming for when you're doing this animation. So that way you know the perspective. In this case, we're starting in close and pulling out to see the whole world kind of bloom as the water starts to flow once again. And it's great that they were able to do it because it also felt like everything was vectorized in such a way that allowed them to have this shot where they can set right up close and then just make it smaller and smaller as they pull the camera away. So it gives them a huge amount of control. And it's very similar to claymation. It's claymation style animation in many ways too. Because claymation is like you're taking a snapshot of a character and then you're dropping them into an environment sometimes. Sometimes the environment is built and you have the character moving throughout it. Other times you have a green screen and you're building the animation around said character. It just depends on what you're doing. What kind of shot you're doing. So you have a few different takes you can do it. This one shows clearly how you could use the grease pencil from 3 years ago. $2018, yeah. And again, like, only recently have I been like, oh, this is pretty big. Well, also because, like, I was using 2.7 for such a long time. Grease pencil wasn't a big thing. Or at least I think that was when it was introduced and it wasn't so highlighted. Actually, I'm kind of curious. See, this is another reason I really just need to look at this and I could... I don't know, there's so many things that you can do in Blender that I do need to play with this program more. Well, I think I've overanalyzed everything. I've criticalized. We had a beautiful Saturday morning, so maybe let's go into some gaming and relax a bit more today, huh? Again, the last time I played a game I know was sometime midweek. It was about I want to say a maximum of 2 hours in New World. That was it. But I do have other games. I have Sun Haven. I have Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley, which I put in 145 hours into. No Man's Sky. The Last Spell has had a huge update, which is tremendous. I've yet to play the new, but I did beat the first level, and it's a lot of fun. It's a roguelite strategy game. It's a lot of fun. I love strategy games because I love playing chess. And strategy games by far some of the best. And this one, The Last Spell, a very dark, medieval, very, very dark world. Because first off, the reason why it's called The Last Spell, literally, you're trying to protect 4 mages in the center that are casting a spell that will abolish magic. And in the process, undead hordes, which are being summoned, that are being reanimated based upon magic, are coming at you in larger and larger droves. And then in that last fight, there's a bit of a boss fight. And I was very proud of myself. And I think I did record it. My gosh, maybe. How about this? Let's see if I can go find that video. I'll show you the final boss of the first level. That's not what I wanted. Put you over here. Let's see. I'm not completely. Document. Where do I put save files from? This is I recorded it and I was like, oh, I'll come back to it eventually. It's still there. It's still lost in this world of so much crud on this computer. Yeah, you slowly realize I need to change this. I need to clean this up. This all needs to go. That's too much. All right. No. Oh, there is a section. Videos. That's what I wanted. All right. So now, hopefully, I didn't delete it. But like, I looked at it. It's like, nah, it's not. Nah. Of course, I don't have anything labeled, and nothing is labeled. Actually, did I record? I recorded something. Huh? Just pictures of me being doofuses. Doofy. Okay, good. You can hear me. For a second there, I had a split second of like, did I ever turn the video back on? Or audio back on? Okay, so that's not single picture. Stream replays. No. Ah, there it is. Last spell. Well, which one is it? I think safe to say it's this one. Let's watch a video together. Just, yeah, do it in. So we can watch some gameplay of mine. Does it bring it back up? You do not want to open that very quickly, do you? I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I kind of want to watch it again because this happened several months ago now. They've had a lot of updates, and I've been like, I'll be patient. I'll wait until they come out with more because I bought it before bought it while it was like just debuted. It's like, oh, want strategy games. Yes. Okay. I think you just don't want to work for me. And I know this is pretty cruddy, but I do have the first, was it only 3 minutes? I must have stopped the recording then. Or it died. Alright. I feel like I'm getting a bit impatient with this. Should have opened it. And there it is. Where this program just lives to make me. Is it? Or is it just going to be... There we go. Okay. So, this is last spell. This... So I think graphically this game looks beautiful. I like this particular art style they went with. I like the isometric version of it. I want full screen. Full screen. So then, okay, this is the game last spell, and this is the last level. As you can see, I have so many traps that I've put across the map. These little flags tell you that this has a particularly large horde coming from this direction and that direction. Let's make sure. So you can see, I'm going through my setup and trying to figure out, okay, I did lose one of my wizards in the center, but this is the last round. I have to survive this and beat the boss. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heroes to use. And you get to set them up so you can see all the traps I have set around to help me do a little extra damage here and there as they run across it, because I'm trying to get the largest sections of which they'll run at me. And you can see the previous, zombie bodies that have been taken out. So I've been kind of setting it around there, as well as if they are going to run off this direction or that direction, maybe I'll catch them with the other traps, because at a certain point I was like, I have a lot of money. I did very well this round. And when I say roguelite, this is a game where you build up over time. You'll eventually die enough times and fail where you've built it up and go, okay, now I can do this. Now here's the boss fight. Boom. Nice, horrendous, brood looking thing. I immediately went, oh crud. There's all this crud being made. And I'm going, that's probably going to be pretty important for me to take out. Boom. See all that damage? Boom. Damage. They just started moving in. I've already trashed. And then I have all those auto bows that are going off. Every little of extra damage I can get in eases my overall damage. I've one tanky person that I love tanks. In MMOs, I play tanks. New World, I play a tank. I play tanks, and I specialize with, playing tanks even in games like this. Alright, so this character has a multi-strike, which I'm trying to calculate, okay, how much damage am I going to output? This is going to take quite a while. This is like an hour long. So I'm going to analyze and go over it. We're going to have... I'm having fun watching this again. But again, if you don't know what this game is, it's called The Last Spell. It's an isometric strategy survival game with roguelite features. So you might lose, but you have these gifts from these two goddesses that will allow you to reset time. And I want to say it was actually saying it yanks you out of that world that is dead and puts you into a parallel universe where you might be able to succeed. And it keeps doing that to you. It's very twisted. So as you can see, it's I'm going ham on this. I'm just trying to take it down. And also, I had this character where it was using 0 mana. I was like, I think it was a special item I'd given them. Because you can also give them items that give them extra ability, like minus the cost of certain things, or allows it makes your character really good, really fancy. And that one, yeah, I realized like, oh great, it didn't actually move on to the other targets. I was trying to do a multi-strike and it's like, nope. Sometimes this character is particularly tanky and like hammer time. Just the way I like it. So you can get a lot of extra strikes. And if you hit him, boom. Upped his use a few more actions to up his armor and go, okay. I love tanky people. I do believe I lose one of my people in this, but it is the final fight. So it's like all sacrifices, it's as long as it's for the greater good. And I do know that they put in more weapons since this. And what is it? In this top half, which I've yet to actually go through, I have a druid and a sniper. If I like tanks, I also like the sniper classes, which I think is a heavy crossbow. We'll get there. But I had a lot of these people that had the magic wands, and because then they could also use a shield. So they're like battle mages, and they had a lot of multi-strikes. So boom, right there, big ol' hit. That was the reason why I went with these people with hammers, because they have such a tremendous amount of tankiness and damage output I could build into them. It was just... And they got a blue weapon, so it's especially... That's part of the features of what you upgrade over time, is that you have more accessibility to getting rarer items. And that's a huge deal come later. So as you can see across the top and the top left here, there's levels of your city being emergent. I've managed to get to this last stage and not even hit the first. So again, play through, get more things unlocked, and eventually it becomes a lot easier. That's roguelite for you. And so it's a hardcore strategy survival game with roguelite features, so you can get stronger over time as these goddesses keep pulling you back into a parallel universe where you have another chance to abolish magic. Which you would think, because I think it even gets questions like, if we abolish magic, then what happens to the goddesses? So they're really getting kind of trying to get everywhere with that. Yep, this is my sniper. I believe this is the character I lose. Because I put her in jeopardy and it's like, yeah, it'd be great to be all the way back there. And they can look through the wooden version of the fence, but they can't look through the stone one. So that's why I did the reinforced wood ones, so they can stay, this particular character is long range, can stay behind everything. So I'm trying to get some AoE, but at the same time trying to do the single shot. As you can see, it's uses a lot of points, but it does heavy damage. So alright, now I need to my second druid. Where do I want to put you? Boom. Boom. It's almost dead, and I just do it. Take it down. Because I don't want to figure out what the heck that thing's going to do. I think I'm forced to. Yeah, let's just poison it. And I know it'll more than likely kill it. And I'll up its defense. So, I think I finished my turn. Yeah, I took quite a bit of time. It's not a timer-based one, so I do take my time with it. Yes, I have 3 extra actions, but no one's close enough for me to use any of them. So I've already taken out one of the major beastie sections. And it becomes a very big deal, like, I'm going to have to do that. This is why these traps are amazing. And then the auto turrets, all the extra damage that they're doing. And then I have catapults, which I will eventually use. Those are tremendous. So the auto turrets, they have a range. And I try to put them in sections where it's like, oh. See, that character is like taking like no damage. See, that's where I start realizing like, oh, it's pretty important if I take those down. The auto turret's going to take out the one that I have over here, so it's like, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. And there's catapults. Looking for the most devastation I can do. And the skull means that it should kill that. I get 2. Take him down. Don't hold back. Destroy as many as you can. I'm trying to like I'm trying to be sparing, but at the same time go, nah, maximum devastation. Let's throw the last one in. 'Cause you only get so many of them. There. So I got a lot that are down. And then we've got another catapult and I go, maybe not. Let's see what we can do with this. This one, oh yeah. Oh, that's out of range. If I was smarter, I'd take my druid and do poison across a lot of them. But I was also trying to make sure, like, I killed certain ones. Give me a clear. Oh, I do take it out. Okay. Because I know it's producing stuff, and I have a tremendous amount of damage that can be done to take it out. Might as well. Boom. Alright. Catapults are out. Alright, so multi-strike. Trying to be conservative, but at the same time go for complete. Boom, calculated right. Boom. Very efficient. I was getting very good with, calculating my numbers. It's just a matter of, I have to make sure I hit. If I miss, then it all goes downhill. There is hope. There is. There is always hope. Let's see how many. I think I get quite a few. Because that's an effective ability. Multi-strikes in this game. Since you have so many coming at you. You want to. No, I'm not playing right now. This is a recording of me playing. This was the first time getting to the final stage. The final night. Of this of the first level they had debuted, which again they have the next world open, or the next section to yes, that's also another reason why I gave them, because I can give extra action points to somebody this way and extra move points. I loved that feature. It's like, if I can't do anything with you, then I could always boost one of my other characters to go in ham. Looks like I have to move in such a way. Yes. Good. Poisoned. Can't move them back, but part of the... Hey, look at me go. Boom. At least taking out the characters are really close. And up your defense. Now... This character was my favorite one. They single-handedly took on this whole section. And it felt so good. This is why I love tanks. Boom. Devastating. Stunned. Yes. Yes. But I'm still going to try to take him out, so I'm going to do the... He had a bonus towards hurting these undead in many ways. And has... They were the one I really went, I'm going to make sure I do as much as I can damage-wise. And you see, like, the characters, like, went, oh yeah, I'm out of movement now. Now I'm trying to figure out, where do I want to put my poison? I said, screw it, let's go with the sniper. Let's see what we could take out. And then there we go, that back line with that ability. This is another reason why it's very long range. Blah. Alright, time to shoot. Do believe I gave them, because I think that ability, the sniper round, does heavy crit chance and heavy damage. It was 3 points action. I gave them something else. Get rid of that. Boom, boom. Don't do it. Okay, well, you took him out. But let's do a poison. It's free. It just uses free actions. There we go. We got all 5 of them in the back. The dialogue from your characters. The encouragement. I don't know why I moved them over here, but it was probably one of my smarter moves. Because eventually, I've taken out the boss and they haven't come back yet. So I'm still thinking, like, oh, crud. I took out the boss that quickly? Shh, I can do this. I underestimated the what I had to do. It was my first time. I didn't know what I was expecting. All I knew is that be as efficient as possible and kill the horde as because they're coming in. Looks like I have to kill them all. I have to take them all down. So it's like, okay, gotta keep going. And then give bonus action to them, or just start taking out some of them. And that was miscalculated, but boom! I love taking out those guys. Like, hey, AoE free AoE damage. As long as they don't get up to my characters, we're done good. We're done real good. All right, give the free actions. 1, 2, 3. No? I said, oh, I just need 2. Get in there and do more devastation. I get really, like, my tanks, I get really, really crazy. Like, I'm up there. I'm all in it. Let's give you another free action. Boom. Take you down, and let's move you 2 away. That's why I love those little wands. Because, like, you can do multi-strikes, you can give free actions to other characters, which is just beautiful. But I still had that. So in okay, don't want to do that. Pretty much, I think I'm holding off on some of these catapults. Like, I gotta let the horde, because, like, they gotta get in there, and, like, I'm efficiently killing them as they're entering in. 2 heroes didn't move, because they didn't need to. And there's the boss again. This is when it's like, oh, okay. There's another one. 2. And then we get these little sprouts again. Now, this druid that's in that lower left, or off to the left side right now, eventually plays a big role in being over there. Traps are marvelous. Yes! Take him down. Oh, I do have something in there. Ooh. Somebody's in there behind enemy lines. Yes! Ah! That's why I think that character dies, is eventually, like, I sacrifice them to take out something. They're getting some damage in. And this was very crucial to me. It's like, oh, I really have to take down a lot of this stuff, otherwise I'm just gonna have endless spawns that are gonna add to the amount of ability for me to control the situation. Boom, 2 hits, down. Great. Awesome. Haven't moved yet. Let's move. We're gonna take out that. Poisoned it. Puts me in a good position. 2 more actions. I can use 2 more actions and poison that as well. Or... there. Kaboom. Kaboom. I'm debating, should I take it out? Should I not? Ah, add it to the multi-strike. Do I do 3 on that one? Yeah. Miscalculation, because it could have been used too. It's so dramatic. Give out the free actions. It just allows me to move this character further away, because, like, I don't think I need to be that close. I'm going to start moving into a position that's more defensive. And as you can see, this one lone character who took damage in the beginning, but is now just like, nah, I'm outright just clobbering. Because I gave them a tremendously powerful weapon that allowed me to lower that cost of that hammer. Now you can see me as like, just up my armor. Watch me sit here and just tank. And this character has so much armor. 46. Ah, love me tanks. Dead. Nice. Not dead yet. Didn't crit on it. That was one of the big things. At least a 30% chance. If it crits, it's a huge amount of damage. Because you do bonus damage. So this is me going like, I guess I really want to get this character over there because I want to. But she's hanging out over here for a reason. Yes. All that poison. Oh, I see why I do. I miscalculated. It's like, oh, it should be. No, one of the characters is dead. That's a terrible target. Oh, wait a second. I know I lose one. I might lose 2 during this whole match. Ah, devastation. Hammer, wand, and having these 2 at each avenue was awesome. Yep, getting free action, free movement. Again, a huge ability. Perfect. Stand in front of the gate. We'll move you a few more over. Ah, that's right, because I'm trying to take out... These are the spawn points of enemies. So it's like, I really do need to take them out. Can't have them freely being a nuisance to me. More defensive. Pulling away. This guy in the lower right is just going to be hammer all the way in their face. So I think the previous round I'd like been like, I'm kind of overdoing it, but this character's got a lot. He's gonna take on this whole section by himself. It's just a matter of letting them come in a little bit, so I can utilize the catapults. I think at this stage, because I still have a lot of rounds, but I want more. I want more of them. Can't warrant using it. It's like that would be a very piss poor way to use it. And I think that's where I go, oh, yes. I'll let things go. See, this is the first time I actually see what they're capable of, because like, oh, nice. They put up a what? A shield wall around them. So you can't get melee characters really close to them, because I believe that probably would amount to an instant kill. So that was what I was getting at. that goes. Almost took that out. Yep. I'm pretty sure that top right gets very hairy. Like, it's getting very close. And I eventually have to do something. I do recall, I think the sniper was also in place of my heavy crossbowman that I'd lost in a previous round. Just lucked out to where it's like, I have the ability to get this character and really trying to take out something. Without outright killing my characters. Yep. And then they're stunned behind them. So I can move on and do something else, but I do bonus damage to stunned undead. Stunned and still dodged. There's that like 1% chance of it actually dodging anyways. And it still did it. So I'm realizing I'm glad I held off on throwing the catapult. Let's do max devastation. Out of range. There. Realizing, oh, I can't target over that wall, but I can target this. Yes. Devastate. And this is the main reason why I took that character and pulled them back. It's like I have a catapult here that I don't have, that can't be utilized. Yeah, I've already used all those up. This character, it's like I need you to do whatever you can. Take him down. Take him down. Go. Go. No fuss. Just do it. Just do it. Go. Go. All the points. One last. Come on. Do maximum damage. Come on. This is like, okay. Almost took it out with my one character. Almost. It's unfortunate, but it's like, okay, I guess that's just how that one works. Boom. Shakalaka. Boom. Shakalaka. And just move back to the gate. Okay. Ah, yes, I do bring them over because I've yet to get enough on that side to do anything. Do I give the action points? Well, I mean, I can take out quite a few things from range. Oh. Just trying to take out these little guys. That's like, you got all these really little things that have a little bit extra damage and they're gone. You won't be missed. Haha, haha. Because you see, the mist is creeping in on. That was another thing. Is I know that I have a building in here that was helping me push back the mist, which gives you a tremendous amount of time because they appear in the mist and immediately come out. So the closer they are to your base, the less time, the less effort you have to funnel them where you want. Go ham. And I do lie. I was like, oh, I thought this guy took them all out. And it's like, no, it's just. I mean, single-handedly pretty much tanks the world on this side too. Here I am giving it a little bit, a few extra points. Dodged. Jerk. All right, time to do some. Behind. Let's get into an angle where I can see it now. Whee! God, so many. Let's do it again. Devastate them. Now this, that grabs them, holds them. They can't move. So that's why another reason why druids are very nice is that I've told it essentially that I want that character to sit there. My sniper took out the big bada boom. Now I'm hinting towards that the boss will appear again this left-hand side after I take out these ones. And I'm doing pretty good because I'm trying to be effectively take out this character. So it's not a fact, it's because I can't see past those. Wasted. Still can't see. Still no line of sight. It's like, how about now? Yep. Poisoned. The whole point. Took out the shield. Now we're doing serious damage to its body. And then back off a little bit. Alright, everyone is done all actions. But moving is one thing they haven't all done. Oh my goodness. Now here's the first time I've seen what those queen-like structures do. Even then I was like, that's it? Yeah. Down. 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 Haha! Yay! Auto turrets during their trick. Yeah, I know that upper right is gonna have some, because they're already doing damage to the wall. It's like, you guys are having a hard time keeping them off. Boom! That's why I love taking out those creatures. Like, I know it's going to be so devastating for you. That's fine. The character will hit something. Up your defense. Moving on. Yes, get the bombs. And this particular character had 7. 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2. Boom. 2 uncalculated. Like oh, that's just sad. So you can see there's characters that have the white bar and a life bar, so the white bar is armor. And that's what my character gets rejuvenated every time my turn comes around. It's 46 points of damage he can take before he starts taking life damage. So unless you do direct damage to the life, you ain't getting anything through. Clear the pathway. Get in there. Hammer down. Move over a little bit. Hammer down. Oh no? Gonna reposition us. Yes, get in there. Boom. And then just one little step back. Give you 2 extra actions. Do it. Do it. Move forward 1. Do it. Oh, no, you're backing off. Alright, up my armor again. Used up all that. Catapult. Used up all that. I have this one left. How much devastation? Oh, can't use it. They're not in a clear enough range to make it viable. So I only have the 1 catapult left. I think I had to upgrade them too to get multiple rounds. All that extra hits. It's like, I have to know that this is going to take him out. And this is what I'm doing, is like, just need to do the job that takes them down. Boom. So devastating with these strikes. Take it down. And then do the... I think I tell the snipers, like, you gotta finish this. Finish it. Finish them. Yeah. Now, doing particular hold, if you hold them, they now become obstructions. Other creatures can't walk through them. They have to walk around them. So that's another reason why I'm like throwing that at certain points. Boom!
Yeah.
Hit him all. Thump. Smoke grenade. Nice little AoE. And again, another form of control that's really, really good. I said, screw it. No, we don't do it? Okay. So this is a person I have more actions yet to do. And then do the... I was like, wait, no, I want to do this, but I don't have the action points for it. But I'm not dead yet. Come on. Oh, we're gonna do multi-strike? Yes, yes, yes. Yes. It gets really down crucial. It's like, how well can you know your character to know you're doing enough damage? There we go. Nice little spike in there. And then back. Because this character, that's right, this character gets bonus defense when they're next to structures. The characters have their own little leveling system to where you can give them perks. And this one I said, okay, yeah. When you're standing next to, structures, you're going to get huge bonus. And here we go. I took out the other two, and it's like, oh, goodness gracious. Good thing I did so. I was like, I have one more. No. I had no clue how many times they were going to appear. All I know is that everything's like, there's so much coming at me again. And it comes down to these last moments. A moment like this. To auto turrets, which were the saving grace because they took out so many. They put me into such a good position of just taking out things that are so close. Just really devastating in so many ways. Boom, took it out. Don't even have to deal with it. Took him down. As you can see, like, that person's tanking everything in the world. They're there it is, see? So he smacked me, it was like, got enough armor to handle it. So my little wand mages with shields, quite tanky in their own right too. And based upon the weapons is also the skills you see down there that they get. And that's why, like, I had druid staffs. I had 2 druid staffs. I had a rifle. I had 2 hammer and shields, and I had 2 wand and shields. So, because I was finding that this was the best way for me strategically to achieve what I wanted, because I'm very much all about running in there. Let's get in there. Let's get dirty. Yeah, run that character all the way across. go. The poison. I can do it again. Eat even more. Nice. Then back behind the gate, right? Yeah, back behind the gate. I'm like worried about those because they move very quickly. And they'll be up on me in no time if I don't do something and take out some of them. Nope, nope. I think I realize. Because again, the same time, that one's also causing a stop, so they're not able to move on me. They have to walk around those creatures, so it gives me more time. Here I am going. Do I have anything? A little bit. I think I use it. Yeah. Again, this is a lot, just like it's saving me the time to take them down. Alright. Get in there. Run all the way in. Devastation. Devastation. So I'm like, I just know what I want with you. I'm just going in there and trashing them. Yep, take him down. Oh yeah, that's right. Burn. Beautiful multi-strike. Gosh, watching this, like, I'm like, yeah, this game takes a long time to play for me because it's turn-based strategy, and I'm not one to go just rush myself. Even though I think it'd be great if there was a mode that goes, you have a timer, just like how chess you can play with a timer. You have 5 minutes, and if one of two things, you either lose by letting your time run out, or, and it's a good way of saying make your decision, move on. But it's also a very difficult thing when you have 7 characters to go through and like, I need you to do this, 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 and this. And they're more dynamic than chess because, well, each character on the board on your play can only move certain ways. So making a faster decision is a little bit more viable compared to this game where it's like, I need to position myself here to do this. I mean, still, there'll be people that will go, yeah, I want to do that. Yeah. Miss. Dodge. Jerk. Give free action. Yeah. Then hopefully, yep, back off to the... Where are you going? Trying to get the ones that have no armor on them. I don't quite want to block it because I know that they can get in there and it'll be nice. Do it again and down it goes. Good. Now I don't have their auto turret smacking me in the face. And that's the spawn point. Tell myself I really just need to take it down. I had my 4 strikes in. And just take it down. I don't need it something spawning right next to my gate right there. And as you can see, it's like I'm pretty calm about this large horde here. Because I'm pretty confident it's like, yeah, we'll get them in closer. Because I have more ice and I have more blades that I need them to get closer in on to have triggered. So like that. Auto turrets do their trick. Take out a bunch of the armor on some things or just take something out already. Nice. Yeah, those things are going to do a lot of damage in that section. I'm also realizing that if I don't take out the queen, that it's going to keep spawning certain things no matter what, as long as they're there. Like that. Those are always going to appear. So I have to do a Hail Mary with my druid here eventually. Not this one, but my top left. I gotta take out something. I'm trying to weave this in there to be as devastating as possible, but also be defensive. So like, I'm blocking the most major of, you know, thoroughfares. So this is where my character's going, okay, I need you to take them down. I think, do I take them out? Yeah, I got it. Yes. It's like, I'm sitting there like, so little health left. So like, take it down. And I think, what do I end up doing? Because I have to do something. Ah, yes. It doesn't cost me any mana, so that's tremendous. And then I'm able to hold that. And this was take it down. Critical. I needed that opening. Do I lose my sniper here eventually? I feel like I do at some point. I knew I lost the heavy crossbowman, so maybe that's me just thinking. Maybe that's what I'm thinking, is that I lost the heavy crossbower that was here. And the heavy crossbower does like tremendous damage in straight lines. And it actually can hit multiple things along that whole line. So it's like, it's a strong multi-strike, and I go, you know what? I think I want a sniper because they're going to focus on something huge and just take it down as quickly as possible. And I said, let's just do that. Yes! Full on strike them all. Again, it just stuns so many of them, come in and just smack the ever-loving bejeezies out of them. This is my speed for horror. Strategy games where I'm just taking on the army of darkness. Now that'd be a fun game too. You play Ash from the Evil Dead series and his friends and such. Not far enough forward. Can't target those things. Like, I know I couldn't. It's like, I just really want to hit that thing right back there. No. Now I'm just trying to clean up anything. Two more. Let's take out two of them. Okay. Okay. You get an extra. Yeah, I am giving extra action points. So what is that going to make me capable of? Well, I could do another buzz, as well as I can do it. I can do a root, which is really nice because of everything right there. Yes, do it, do it, do it. Brilliant strategy. Still can't hit the thing I want to hit. So let's hit the one thing that I can, and it dodges. Frustration. So frustrating. Like, I know that big thing is gonna hurt me. I want to take that out as soon as possible. I have no mana on that character. That's why it's like, why am I just doing that? No mana. Another devastating stun. So I'm trying to be calculating. It's like, crud, I took them all out. I didn't stun them, so they're obstruction. Let's stun that or take them out. Missed. It feels like that missed. Unless that creature is immune to particular. Maybe it's immune. And 2 action points to you. So you can go in and it's hammer time. There we go. Took out archers. We're good. Wasn't able to get that character back to a point where they could be up against, but they had 50. All right. I think we're coming. Yeah, about 7 more minutes, and then this is. We see the fruition. Because I didn't know what I was supposed to necessarily do. All I knew is that there's a big scary creature that's in here that needs to go down. That needs to get out of here. I need to take them out. So that's what I end up focusing on. Boom! It's like, I so love you guys, auto turrets. Just what I wanted to see. They're taking out some more. We got more spawn. And here it is. I think I just go outright like, let's just do it. Still can't target you. What? Okay. I was really sketchy. Like, I don't want to get in too far. Boom. 1 hit. Oh, I do have to back off. That's right, because I ran out of action points. Now, the question is, what do I do? Good. Took it down. Trying to, again, block the area back there because they'll hold them. So just continue on the damage. Okay. So this isn't the final round. I think I go to round 9. Turn 9. I'm devastating. I'm making so much damage progress in on this. It's awesome. My tanks are doing their work. The hammer working so beautifully. And again, that second ability, I believe, does bonus damage if you have them stunned. So it's like, yes. So it's trying to be devastating in lines. Taking out the armor, taking them out is huge. And then line it up. Walk over and line up. Or no, it looks like I can only do a single. Cool. Fence up. No, and you can't attack it directly. And that poison went the wrong direction. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you messing with me right now? Yeah, making sure I get that taken out. I think we can click something that's out of range. Okay, good. Boom, calculated. Miss. That was right. You are such a jerk. So determined, like, take it down. Take it out. I don't care. I'm not even frickin'. No calculation. Just take it all down. And poison is beautiful because it allows you to take them out. or periodically take more damage, you know, than taking damage over time. So it's like always a brilliant. You have all the move in the world. Retreat. Which is definitely a good strategy. Have at least one person that's dedicated to each wall, and a few floaters that can move around very quickly. So you can focus on giving them more movement so they can do support. But then you have individuals that can really take on the burden. Go back. Do I go deep in there, or do I just... That's right. Try to be a little bit more strategic and say, okay, stun characters, they obviously have to move their way up your defense, and then... So again, I definitely have one more round after this. Because I've one more round. That's all it is. I have so much of this horde coming in that you see. But I have one more round. And my emergence level is going to get very close to that first tier. It's like,
It's devastating. What is going on? Everything's getting shot. As it should. Defenses armed.
yeah, those things are... Ah! My emergence level is now going to hit tier 1. If I don't do anything dramatic right now. I think it's like, gotta do it. Gotta do like maximum damage. Take him out. And that's the last of my catapults. I love that lineup because there's so many. Boom. Full 8 hit. Love it. That's it. Let's just do it. Let's just take out all of them. 2 strikes. Boom. Done. You know? I feel I did something that allowed the hammer to get through and do penetrating damage, so I ignored defenses a lot. Here we are. Here we are. Boom. Alright, now I have 3. I'm gonna do 2 of those. Boom. Boom. And I'm pretty sure I make a choice at some point as just pure devastation. Ah, the sniper's my Hail Mary, right? Is it? Is it? Is it? Why'd I do that? I think I was being a little too skittish. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And I have to back off. So I'm bringing this character in to do some business. Devastate. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? Took out the Nether. You got new mana for a multi-strike. See, you can only do that. And then I can give an action to someone else. Too bad it's fleeting one action. But it's movement nonetheless. Isn't that all good and such? Yeah. What are we sitting here arguing about? Arguing about. I don't know, I'm doing these voices because it's fun. Arr! How badly can we take out? Smack. Smack. See, I'm like I'm taking it down. Now I'm at that point, it's like, I'm gonna hurt it. It's about dead. But I have no more actions. So. Yeah, what do I do? I don't understand this time. I guess I thought I had 7 minutes left, and that's clearly not the timer part of it. But okay, so I take 10 or 11 rounds. I want to say I have one more round where I'm gonna do more Hail Mary at the end. It's like I gotta take this down, gotta just get it out of the way so I can handle this horde and stop focusing on everything else. You gonna go for it? All right, so I think this is the Hail Mary move. This is the, I'm going to take it all down. Just go for it. And there's a little conservative strike. Slice, 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 slice. And then, okay, I still got more turn. Boom. 6, 2, there it is. Final hit. Calculated. And explosion. Oh, okay. That's not the mouse pointer. That's the mouse pointer in the game. Another knight survived. Boom. Look at all that. All the horde taken down. I don't know why it bothered to show me leveling characters. Like, I'm not gonna get anything. Boom. 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 Night reward, night reward, night reward. Like, okay. And then here's the calculation of the taint, which is one of the currencies that you use to pay for upgrades when you die, essentially. So, Night 12 survived. We did it! That freaking monstrosity is down! Good job, everyone! The last spell shall be... Hey, what's going on? With the magic circle? An overwhelming surge of power is coming! Right! No! And, is the seal broken? What did it, right? We did it, right? Right? No! The seal's damaged but still not broken. We need more time. Give us more time.
Everything's about more time.
Yep. Unlocked Apocalypse. So that's a harder mode. See, it took me 12 hours to play that game. I actually played it over 2 nights. Because, like, I did not. This is when it first came out, and I think this is like the fifth day I'd played. And see, here it is. Oh no! I've done and ruined it, so you can see these. You'd know their name, and when you first see them, it's like, oh, they don't actually have it shown. I allowed thy devilish scheme. Breaking the seal of magic would only mean living for me and my sister in this reality. See, that was the revelations. Like, I knew that coming up to it. It's like, you guys are magical beasts, so if we destroy magic or its link to the world, you are thus cut off from it. And thy people, is there no hope at all? There is, and there ever will be hope, as long as you play by the rules. Rules schmools. Now this one, how hers works is you have to do certain actions to then unlock the... So you have to do certain things during your match. And then you unlock her. The taint is the other half. Is this Commander. Wait, what happened? Yep. Not to the point of succeeding in your glorious quest. Thwarted by twin sisters of night, of light and dark, in a scheme of trying to abolish magic. And of course, what are these creatures? They are of themselves made of magic. So if I was to cut the world off from magic, thus cut myself off from them. Disappointed, isn't it? But not despair. I will still help you as best as I can, as long as you provide me with essence. And maybe someday. Now this is where you spend your essence to upgrade certain features. Like, I want these particular weapons available. I want this, like, defensive. I want better defensive gear. I want it to be upgraded each time. I want these other things. I want this feature. I want these weapons so I can have this better, this upgraded more. Like little percent chances that increase, going and getting the next best thing. For the Seer building, used to re-roll the upcoming wave. Sitting there reading, it's like, re-roll a wave. That sounds like it could work against me, but also then help me. The Seer building is the one also that helps push back the shroud, which gives you more barrier to really work at it. So it's huge. Huge. I forgot what I already went with, but it was unlocked. More light pants, more medium pants. Heroes are granted generate 5+ mana. Huge, like that's really what you end up building up over. And there it is. First run. And I've unlocked it. I never played Apocalypse mode. Well, maybe I did. I just didn't record it. But yeah, there we are. So then what is it? Just the last month or two, they came out with another, because on the map there's a quite extensive map. They only have one place open, and then they have another place sitting there saying to coming soon. Right? I think. Lakeburg. I've ran it 9 times. I have no clue what this is. Why can I pull that? And so you can increase your difficulty or do easy mode and have a bunch of things unlocked. Which my first 2 runs when I was doing standard, I go, I need to get through some matches and actually get enough essence to do anything serious. I was not anticipating getting through that 8th or 9th run all the way through. I actually, because I didn't know how many nights I'd survive. I didn't, unless I did. I don't recall ever seeing it, but there we go. A nice little playthrough of the last spell. Like I said, it reminded me, I said, why not? Why not show? Because I recorded it purposely so it's like I could look at it, admire it, and go, I like this game a lot. And I do. There we go. 3.5 hours. Okay, I think it's time for me to go and take a nap. I feel kind of lightheaded suddenly. Not suddenly like I'm sick. But I don't stream for a very long time, but today I didn't draw a single darn thing. Hooray me. That means I did something relaxing for a change. I don't know. Who knows? Who really knows? Knows. there we are. I had a lot of fun today. Hopefully everyone else did. And thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Lizzie, for joining. And we got through some nice little analysis, which is I think I'd like to do on more Saturdays, because one, it helps inspire me to do some of my own work, to see and analyze and break down and go, I see this. I love what they are doing. I want to do the same thing. So maybe what I'm going to end up doing the rest of this evening is reading a lovely little book and doing some writing myself. Really calm down. Keep it relaxed. Keep it set back. He says sitting back. Unlock this chair and probably take a nap. Which I'm very proud. I have my second cup of coffee and I still got quite a bit. I love cold coffee. I purposely let this sit off to the side, just get cold. But there's also the aspect that, luckily, the tips of my fingers aren't really frozen, but my feet are cold. So maybe I'll head on upstairs, take a relaxing moment to warm up, and come on back down here and have some fun in a nice, lovely Saturday. I mean, it's not tremendously wonderful looking outside, but Michigan is a cloudy state. It happens often. I did go out on the last sunny day, so there it is. I'm not the hermit in this basement like I keep thinking I am. Spend most of my time here. But why not? I love my little mini studio here. It's so much fun to be in here and creating stuff. And again, it's what I encourage you to get out there, make your own stuff, find your own art style. If you have any questions, drop on by, let me know. There's the Facebook page. There's Facebook page is definitely by far one of the best. You can also message me on Instagram. You can message me on Twitter. There's many ways you can get in touch with me. Because there's also the Discord down below, so you can even jump in there. Because I'm currently sitting in there now. I'm always welcoming. We'll get you in. We'll discuss one of your projects if you're working on anything, or we can just shoot the day away with drawings. Maybe even just go back and forth, and especially like with Gardic, phone, because that's a very fun. I played that with Lizzie and a lot of people from the Crimson Coalition group, which I'm a part of. So again, give them all some love. So again, Phoenix and Lizzie are both part of that group as well. If you're ever curious, look up Crimson Coalition, and you can find everyone else. We got Mrs. Trash Panda, we got G-Squall, we got Dyslexic Penguin. I know I'm missing quite a few. There's I can remember Rose. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I'm terrible with names. I'm very terrible with names. Jelly Rose. There we go. There it is. Jelly Rose. I knew I was in. Just had to sit there calmly and go through all the letters in the alphabet until one triggered the rest. There you go. But again, there's so many that are part of this group, and they're a great tight-knit group. We all try to help one another. We all try to, motivate each other, boost each other up. And again, we extend that out to our viewers as well. So, if you have an opportunity, check all these wonderful people out. I really should develop a means of a shout-out properly for when they get in here. So one of these soon days, I'm gonna sit down with Liz, or sit down with Phoenix, or sit down with, and get some of that. Get one of them is like, okay, how do you do the shout out? How can I put that in there? And maybe it is a feature that I don't necessarily have attached to me, but again, I wanna always give back. They're a tremendous amount of help, and again, they're a good source of inspiration and motivation. And, I appreciate everything. And, it can't hurt to have a few extra friends around. That we all have that common goal of what we're working toward. So, alright. So it's time for me to go warm up next to the lovely cozy fire that I'm going to make in the trash can upstairs. So I can warm up my Tootsies. And I'll leave you to the rest of your wonderful day. I hope it's tremendously bountiful. I hope your weekend is absolutely lovely. And again, thank you as always for joining me. This is the BoogieMan dancing on out of here. I'll catch you critters later. Bye.